Hi everyone, it's Miss Jen from the Lawrence branch. For today's STEAM video, we're going to do 3 experiments that involve spices, things that you have in your cabinet that you cook with. The first is going to be spice painting. The second will be dancing pepper. And the third will be a hand washing experiment. So I'll go over what you need so you can get it all ahead of time. You can pause the video and then we can get rolling. The first thing you'll probably want to put down is a tablecloth or maybe some newspaper just in case things get messy. Then for the spice painting, you'll need some white paper. Watercolor paper or construction paper is better, a little bit thicker. Some white paint. You can use colors, but I'm going to use white. You'll need spices. I rated my spice cabinet. I have turmeric, cardamom, paprika, cinnamon, and cloves. But you can go through and find anything that would have some color to it. I'd veer away from chilies or peppers that might be a little spicy or sting your eyes if you get around, but that's what I'm using. Some paintbrushes, some bowls, or I have little lids for the paint, and a spoon to scoop your spices in. For the dancing pepper, you'll need a shallow bowl, some water, black pepper, a Q-tip, and some dish soap. And then for our hand washing experiment, you'll need some vegetable oil, hand soap, and cinnamon, and a sink with hot and cold water. All right, let's get started. Our first step is to mix the spices in with some paint. I'm going to use white paint. I've seen other people use different colors, and then you would just get the smell from the spices in the paint. I also saw an article where they used flour, water, and cornstarch with food coloring mixed with the spices to have more of a watery consistency to paint with. I'm using the white paint. So add some white paint and then put a little bit of each spice in there. You can play around with the amounts. Start with our turmeric. Just be careful with turmeric. It is very easy to stain things with turmeric. So you may want to put on an apron or just wear junky clothes when you're doing this. Cloves, cinnamon, cardamom, and paprika. I'm not endorsing any of these brands, by the way. These are just what I had in my spice cabinet. Now we're going to mix the paint and the spice. That looks a little dry, so I'm going to add a little more paint. I want a little darker brown, so I'm going to add more cinnamon. Use some extra cardamom too. So you can see the different colors the spices made, all in the browns, yellows, some kind of red families. But what you don't get from the video is the smell. They smell wonderful, and you can smell each distinct spice. I'm going to clean the paintbrushes and we'll get ready to paint. Again, our paints are the yellow with the turmeric, a brown, reddish brown with cloves, a darker brown of cinnamon, a tan, yellowy brown of cardamom, and another reddish brown with paprika. And now to paint. So our color palette is the yellow turmeric, the brown cloves, the darker brown cinnamon, the tan cardamom, and the reddish brown paprika. Now we'll make a pretty fall scene. If the fall palette is a little boring, you want some more color variation in there, you can use actual colored paint, like red with the paprika, or yellow or orange with the cardamom, and then you'd have more variety. But it smells wonderful. To make dancing pepper, first fill a shallow pan with water, and then add enough pepper to have a nice coating on top of the water. Now for the magic. Take a Q-tip, dip it in some dish soap, and watch what happens when you put it into the water. It's a one-time shot, but you can always clear it out and put pepper in again to do it again. So the first question you can ask is, why does the pepper float? Pepper is hydrophobic, meaning that water is not attracted to it. Because of that, the pepper can't dissolve in water. So why do the flakes float on top? Water molecules like to stick together. They line up in a certain way that gives the top of the water surface tension. Because pepper flakes are so light and hydrophobic, the surface tension keeps them floating on top. The next question is, why does the pepper shoot to the sides when the soap comes in? Soap is able to break down the surface tension of water. That's part of what makes it a good cleaner. As the soap moves into the water and the surface tension changes, the pepper no longer floats on top. But the water molecules still want to keep the surface tension going, so they pull back away from the soap and carry the pepper along with them. For our final spice experiment, we're going to try hand washing. So first, get a container, add some vegetable oil and a spice like cinnamon. Mix it up. Once you have it mixed, put it on your hands, and then try washing your hands in cold water, warm water with soap, and see which one works the best. If you can see, but I have cinnamon all over my hands. Cold water first. I got some, but it's still pretty covered in oil and cinnamon. Add some more. Hot water next. That may have gotten a bit more, but let's try hot water with soap. CDC advised washing for 20 seconds, so count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 18, 19, 20. You can feel the cinnamon and oil just coming right off. And now my hands are clean. Washing your hands right will wash off not only the cinnamon, but also the harmful invisible bacteria that's on our hands. So that's why we should wash our hands with soap, water, preferably warm water, for at least 20 seconds. Thanks for watching. Have fun.